Once upon a time, in a quaint little farm tucked away in a sleepy valley, there lived a rooster named Chanticleer. Chanticleer was no ordinary rooster. Oh no, he was the proudest and most confident rooster in all the land. His magnificent feathers gleamed in the sunlight, his crow was pitched to perfection, and he strutted around as though the farmyard was his kingdom. Chanticleer had a peculiar belief that he was the reason the sun rose every morning. Every dawn, he would perch atop his favorite fence post, puff out his chest, and let out a thunderous crow that echoed across the fields. Cock-a-doodle-doo, he crowed with all his might, convinced that without his call, the sun would simply refuse to rise. The other farm animals found Chanticleer's arrogance amusing, yet utterly absurd. They often chuckled amongst themselves at how the silly rooster thought he wielded such power over nature. Among them was Oliver, the wise old owl, Betsy the witty goat, and Penny the gentle cow. All were fond of Chanticleer, though they often pondered how they could teach him a lesson in humility. One starry evening, as the animals gathered in the barn for their nightly chat, Oliver the owl came up with a mischievous plan. "What if," he hooted to his friends, "we make Chanticleer believe that the sun will not rise if he doesn't crow tomorrow?" Betsy giggled at the idea, and Penny nodded knowingly. This would certainly show Chanticleer that his crow wasn't the almighty call he thought it was. As the first streaks of dawn crept across the sky, the animals sneaked to the fence post, gently nudged Chanticleer awake, and whispered that his crow had been cursed by a wicked spell, and if he crowed that morning, the sun would turn upside down. Startled, but with a flicker of defiance, Chanticleer mulled over this grave warning. The sun must rise, he thought, but what if the spell is real? He couldn't bear such a consequence. After much contemplation, he decided to stay silent. The morning ticked on, and no crow echoed from Chanticleer. The farm was unusually quiet, and the sun was conspicuous by its absence on the horizon. The animals watched in anticipation, as a few minutes stretched into what felt like hours. Finally, as the sun poked timidly over the hills, the barn erupted in laughter and cheers. Chanticleer, bewildered and slightly bashful, realized he had been tricked. The sun did rise without his supposedly magical crow. Oliver, Betsy, Penny, and the others gathered around Chanticleer, assuring him it was all in good spirit. "We just wanted you to see that you're part of nature, not the master of it," Penny gently voiced. Chanticleer chuckled, a little pink gift of humility wrapping around him. "I suppose I've been a bit too big for my own plumes," he admitted cheerfully. From that day on, Chanticleer's crowing became a melodious gift rather than an obligatory dawn ritual. Never was he too proud or boastful, and he often joined the animals for late-night laughter and games. Knowing he was just as much a part of the farm as the warming sunrise he had once believed he controlled. And to this day, Chanticleer still greets the morning sun, but always with a song of joy rather than self-importance. Letting harmony echo across the fields he calls home. And they all lived happily ever after, with the sun always greeting them in the morning, no matter who decided to crow.